here, and welcome to a quick little video about my new tank build that I've decided to make. This is for the Thieves Guild patch. I'm a Nightblade. Just going to start off by talking about the build itself. It's very self-heal oriented. It has great magicka and stamina sustain thanks to siphoning attacks. It also does really good DPS for a tank. Sometimes I hit like 30k AoE DPS, and I usually average about 6k single target when I'm focused. I usually don't even need a healer, as I showed on my Abjugator parse, or video I should say. This isn't really designed for trials though, and this build is not finished. I'm still missing some important pieces. I need a proper Malabeth helmet, and I need leeching girdle still. So I'm still missing 30% self-heals on top of what the heal gives itself, which is really big. After this is dead, I'll open up my CP and show a little bit of what I use. Oh, come on! Yeah, alright. Yeah, the Cyrodiil res passives actually work here, since this is Cyrodiil from the support skill. Uh-oh, this is not looking good. Alright. And just like that, it's done. Pretty low self-healing in my parse reset, so just a quick breakdown. Here are my stats, although this is with Warhorn up, so let's wait till that fades. This is not optimal, as I mentioned earlier. I have really low resistances, which is why I don't bring this into trials as much. I can do normal trials, I can do SO, HRC, AA, but veteran Mauve Lorcaz I would have to make some minor adjustments. Here's my unoptimal gear set. I'm running 5-piece Leeching, 5-piece Bahara's Curse, and 1 Maelstrom Resto Staff, Bahara Weapon and Shield, and then Jewelry, and then 5 Leeching pieces, and then the optimal would be Malabeth, Helmet and Shoulders, medium, or actually I think I'm going to do 6-1-1, so heavy helmet, light shoulders, and then Leeching only comes in heavy, so the 5 body pieces. I have a lot of magicka recovery. This is with Atronach. I have low stam regen, but that's fine because I'm a tank, so I don't get stam regen. But the main power of this build comes from siphoning attacks. I really cannot run out of resources. I'll post another build of me taking like 20 mobs at once, and my stamina never dips below 50%. I run Swallow Soul for the minor vitality, Sap Essence for healing and AoE, Pierce Armor, so I apply debuffs for the whole raid, Absorb Magicka for block cost reduction, as well as the ability to take 0 damage from spell projectiles and get healed for it, Soul Harvest on my main bar, so any kills I get, which is not often as I'm a tank, but I do get the ultimate regen. I can use it for executing. I usually don't. I like to save for aggressive Warhorn for my party. But I also get my assassination passives, which give me a little bit of DPS with crit hit damage and critical strike, and then whenever I crit, I give weapon crit, which isn't massive, but it's still nice. And then my back bar is Relentless Focus to keep up assassination passives, as well as 8% damage done. Rapid regen with the Maelstrom Staff for a little bit of magicka regen. Inner Rage for my Rage Taunt, obviously. Refreshing Path for a little bit of self-healing and AoE, and then Shadow Image for minor maim, as well as some cool little goofy juking that you can do with a lot of mobs, where you can line of sight them as they're about to do a lot of damage or something. Quick go into CP really quick. I do 92 in Magician and 75 into Arcanist, just like a caster build would, because all of my stuff is Magicka and there's no block cost. There's bash reduction, but I mean bashing isn't expensive for me because of Sword and Board passives. And I run 100 Blessed since I am a self-healing build. It also improves my healing to my allies with sap and whatnot. Elfborn, it's only 2 points, but whenever I crit it gets a little bit more. Elemental Expert to increase the damage of sap, refreshing path, etc. And then 5 into Thaumaturge to increase my dot damage, which is honestly pretty useless. I would be better off putting it in Elemental Expert, but I just have it there. 75 into block expertise, so I get the block cost reduction, but the main reason I do that instead of 100 is for shield expert. 75% bonus on shields plus reinforced means that I get almost 3,500 armor, which is like 1.5 of heavy chest that isn't reinforced. So you get a lot of bonus mitigation from this. That I do sacrifice a bit of Hardy and Ellie Defender for it. I only have 14% damage reduction from both. 1 into Thick Skin for dots, 1 into Expert Defender and Quick Recovery, so I get a little bit of bonus healing, and then this reduces damage taken by light attacks from mobs as well as players. And that's about it. This isn't completely optimal with CP, since min-maxing tanks is a little redundant in the game content at the moment. But yeah, as I said, low resistances. Thankfully to CP I get past this, but the main reason that I can take so much damage is because I heal it instantly with Bahar's 5-piece proccing as well as leeching. I can easily dish out like 10k HPS in single target situations where there isn't movement thanks to those, but I mean in this fight it was a little bit lower because the amount of moving, but I mean just look at Bahar's curse. It's out regenning, rapid regen, and refreshing. Leeching didn't proc that much, unfortunately, since it is only I think 8% chance on being hit. Yeah. But in AoE situations, or even when a mob has a lot of attacks, like a Crematorial Guard, I can literally keep myself alive without a healer through 2 or 3 Molten Breaths, and then it starts to get a little bit scary. But I also would run Soul Tether instead of Aggressive Warhorn. If you're running with a group that isn't rotating meta builds or a lot of crit hit damage or critical strike chance, you'd run Soul Tether. You'd be more greedy, but I mean if you're running with pugs and players who aren't really min-max and able to utilize Aggressive Warhorn, Soul Tether is going to almost double your efficiency with self-healing just because of how powerful it is. Not only that, you keep more control of the battlefield because you're stunning everything near you. And with this build, you can pretty much run 3 DPS, even in ICP and White Gold Tower. Usually what I do is I just tell my healer, hey, put down Healing Ritual or whatever, like a small hot, and then let me do the rest, and then just let them DPS, and it allows us, the group, to go faster and push out more damage and whatnot. Pretty sure that's it. I said I use the Atro Stone. Oh, I'm using the Azara's Food, which is max health and then Magicka Recovery. Since I do cast a lot of spells, sap can get pretty costly, but I can literally not run out of Magicka even without siphoning attacks just by weaving Swallow Soul, because my Magicka regen is like double it. And then, yeah, so that's about it. A lot of really good tips if you're going to run this build is know what you're fighting. Like, the reason why I can get away with a lot of damage is because Absorb Magic can be utilized in a way that you literally take no damage from single target attacks. Like Lord Warden, he does ranged attacks. You can just keep spamming this. It'll drain your stam, but if you have siphoning attacks and you keep weaving and then like bashing, because bash, a light attack, an attack, and a bash all has a 10% chance each, so a 30% chance if you weave that to proc that. So not only are you not taking damage, you're healing yourself with it, but you also have infinite resources. I'm pretty sure that's everything with this build. I'm not optimal with stats. I would rather balance more in between health and magicka. I was just in my DPS gear and then swapped over to this. So I have higher stamina than I normally would, but even when I don't run 0064, I don't have any stamina issues. I would put more health or more points into health and magicka until I hit 30k. That would be able to let me do trials. And yeah, pretty much having about 30k, maybe a little bit more, which I would gain more health from running 2-piece, or I'm already gaining max health from this, but infused on everything instead of reinforced. Reinforced is great, but the effective health that it gives you via mitigation is outcasted by infused on everything, and then you run prismatic enchants. Right now I only have 4 infused pieces, so I'm missing a lot of stats, especially on my helmet. But like that's the reason why my stat pool is so high for magicka and stamina, is because I have these tri-stats. Like honestly, these are the most efficient things a tank could run. Reinforced is great, especially since I don't have spell resist or physical resist cap. I mean I jump up to 2700 in each when I pop a shadow spell or whatever. Maybe it's like 2500. Yeah, 2500 in each. So I'm missing about 6, 7, 8% damage mitigation from not being at armor cap, but I mean it's not the end of the world since I'm healing out. I'm dishing out so much self-healing that I can take that extra damage. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this. I'm gonna get some more footage of more intensive situations to show the possibilities with stamina regeneration and etc., as well as the DPS potential. But thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.